Hey there. So, deciding to get on here while I'm waiting. Tap into the energies and see if we have a message to come through today. I hope you all are doing well. So the decks, I'm using my original Rider-Waite deck, and then I'm also using my oracle cards from the Wisdom of Hidden Realms deck. This deck is growing on me, and so I've been using this deck quite a bit. And I did pull cards to start the reading. I have 5 cards here, of which that's what will actually start off for this reading today. The weather today is kind of iffy. It's a little sprinkly, a little bit windy. The wind thrushes in a little bit. And so things today, and I'm going to name this a timeless reading as well. And so things today could be just a little bit, not necessarily hectic, but it could be a little testy, kind of like there's just a little bit of the energies being tested right now for you, around you. Whether or not you're being affected by this or not could vary or differ, but nevertheless, it could be just a little bit testy today. I'm looking at the wind and the rain, just a little trickle of rain, not too much. So depending on what energy you are in, right, it could go either way. Hopefully it's not affecting you and causing you to be imbalanced, but that's what I'm getting. Just looking at the rain, you could actually be walking into a new season. If you've been someone that's been waiting on your flower buds to blossom, right? Whatever that means, you could have actually just experienced the blossoming of this, whatever this would represent for you, or whatever that those buds would be that you've been waiting to come to fruition. I do see a lot of blossoming happening. Nevertheless, just because the buds are blossoming doesn't necessarily mean that everything feels good, right? You could be in a good season and still be kind of being tried by different things around you. And so that's what I'm sensing right now. And so let's go ahead and get into our oracle cards. And so the cards that I pulled, first of all, is the Dream Walker. See if that will focus. There we go. So this is talking about dreams and the overall good for the collective. And it's also warning about illusions, right? Understanding the difference between dreams that are actually meant to come to fruition and illusions, right? Illusions come to throw us off of our path many times, right? And so it's almost like throwing things in the way to knock you off course or knock you off your focus. And those things being thrown in your way aren't real, right? It could be in the form of dreams, or it could be just things that are being thrown at you in the 3D. But it's asking you to be aware, right, between dreams, aspirations, things that are actually meant for you, and things that are being thrown at you that are trying to knock you off course. And then it's all about the collective good. That's kind of, I'm getting, that's how you're going to know whether or not this is something that was ordained and aligned for you. Is it something that's going to affect the collective good? Or is it something that's going to benefit you and be harmful for everyone else, right? You may be asked to pay attention in that kind of way. I also have the Arrow Master. And immediately when I think of the Arrow Master, With the dream walker, by the way, this could be, I'm feeling like a watery type of energy. And so this could have something to do with a creative. If you're a creative or someone that is very in tuned with their imagination and with their creative side, right? This could be definitely what that's talking about. For the arrow master, this could be immediate. When I think of arrows, of course, I think of Sagittarius, right? But aside from that, this is talking about the energy of, so it could be a fire energy, but it's talking about being spot on with something and being intentional, and also being able to detach from the outcome, right? Which is it's a method. That's not the word I'm looking for, but it's a way that you proceed towards something, right? When you manifest, you definitely want to be intentional. You definitely want to set the goal, set the target, and then you walk away. You forget it and allow, you give it to God, or you give it to the universe, or you give it to your spirit team. You let them know, you write the vision, you make it plain, you set it, and then you forget it, right? And so for whoever this is for, this is that type of energy. And so I don't know if you're manifesting something, or if you need to actually be in that energy of understanding how to do that. I feel like Spirit is bringing in that energy of letting you know to be specific. There's a need to be specific here with what you're bringing in. And I'm hearing name it and claim it, and then release yourself from the outcome. It's almost like trusting the one who you're releasing it to, that they understand not only what it is that you want, but understand what you need, right? Detach yourself from it and allow it to go, right? This is going to be the method that's going to be successful for whoever this is for. Bringing in the arrow master, hitting the mark, intention, and then detachment. Detach from it. And so for those, going back to the energy of this blossoming flower, you're seeing it come to fruition for whoever this is for. And as you see it come to fruition, remember to stay detached. Like, just go with the flow, I'm hearing. Don't try to manipulate it or try to, direct it in any kind of way. Spirit wants you to just be open. It is understood what it is that you desire. And so there's that level of co-creation that's happening, and that level of trust that needs to happen here. And then we have the altar priestess. The altar priestess. I've never gotten this one before. This is giving me the energy of the magician, right? As you look, she's at the altar and she has all of her tools. She has all of her ingredients. Lots of fire. We have earth. I see the air. But this is about preparation, prayer, and then sacred ritual. And so this is a very powerful energy. And so this could be someone, you could definitely be someone of high rank, right? Someone who has not only the power, but has the ability, has the heart and the intention set to kind of intercede, right? There's something that you do, or that you are doing, or that you have been empowered to do. And whatever that is requires this process that you go through, or this commitment that you are engaged with. And it feels very spiritual. Whether you're a prayer, whether you are someone who manifests, whether you're someone who uses meditation as this level of connection and preparation for whatever it is that you do when you do it. But it's almost the energy of some type of intercession I'm feeling. And so for whoever this is for, I almost feel like Spirit wants you to know the level of importance in the role that you play. If you don't know, right? It's almost like when you pray, when you go to that place where you connect with your higher source, magic happens. Things change. I almost feel like I'm hearing the heavens open. You know, there's this space that opens to receive whatever it is that you are offering up, or whatever it is that you are asking, right? So for whoever this is for, it's to help you to understand the importance of what it is that you do, and the fact that there is a need for a commitment to that, and not to take it lightly, or not to treat it as mundane, but it's something that needs a level of sacredness when you think of it, when you do it. It's a level of intention and honor with that. We have the Lady of Lightning as well. Now this card reminds me of the Tower, because it brings in a level of change, sudden change, almost like this paradigm shift. And so this could very well be the energy that you carry. The energy that you carry changes environments. I get the feeling of someone that like walks into a room and all of a sudden the energy shifts in the room, or there is this immediate attraction felt, right? And all of the tension may be aimed towards you when you walk into a room. And whether it's intentional or not, right, there is a level of almost like a shock factor. When you change things, it's almost like a surprise, right? Or this could be the fact that even though there's this level of drawing towards you, there is still like this underestimation, you know, about you, until there's this change that happened. And then it's like, there's this shock factor. And along with that factor is surrounded by this shift that you bring in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like you do this without even trying to do it. It's just something that happens with the energy that you carry, that you bring. And this may in fact be tied with your purpose as well. And I'm hearing Spirit say you don't necessarily have to do anything, but just be your authentic self. It's just being yourself, and you change things because it's not you that's changing, but it's the power of God working through you. It's the power of Spirit moving through you, using you kind of like as a conduit, right? If you look at this card, it's almost like the energy is passing through her, right? And coming out. So you're kind of like a conduit. And so I feel like this has very little to do with you. And it's more about what Spirit does through you. Yeah, it's about what Spirit does through you. And part of your purpose is to bring that change in the earth. Is to bring or heighten the level of awareness, heighten the level of intensity around this shift that's happening right now in the earth. That paradigm shift energy, right? It's almost like you ever met someone and after departing from that person, they're still on your mind. There's just something about them that's hard to release, right? It's almost like an enigma, and you walk away trying to figure it out, like, what was that? Or who are they? You know, it's that kind of energy. And then the last card was the Chess Queen. And when I say king or queen, we're just talking about energy. Feminine and masculine energy are energies that kind of describe the flow that's in movement. For feminine energy, you know, it's this very receiving energy. It's very emotional. It's receptive. It's connective. It's creative, you know. And then for masculine is very energetic. It's doing. It's making things happen, going out and completing, right? Whereas the feminine kind of sits back and receives, the masculine goes out and does. And so when we're talking about kings or queens, we're just talking about this energy, right? Flowing. So the Chess Queen is trust and strategizing, right? Again, that level of trust, right? Being able to understand, first of all, that we are co-creating with God, with the universe. And though we are allowed to be a part of that process, when it's all said and done, there's a level of trust that we need to have. Because the true power is not really us, right? It's the fact that we are connected. That's the true power. And then understanding as we go out and do, as we've been allowed not to do from our power, but it's through the connection, right? Because it's when we go out and do in our power, we get tired, we get weary, we run out, right? But if we stay connected, I'm hearing Spirit say, then that's where that unlimited strength comes from. That's where the unlimited ideas come from. That's where the unlimited potential comes from. And so the Chess Queen is about that type of energy. Yeah, we've been allowed to co-create. There is a level of interaction and a level of decision that we've been given, but overall it's understanding that that's all guided around this level of trust that we need to have, that the highest level is left up to the Creator to decide what is actually best, right? And understanding that and actually, you know, sitting in that energy of trust, even though that doesn't mean you just sit and do anything, right? But it also doesn't mean that you manipulate to try to have things work out the way you want them, right? But it's trusting that however it turns out, you have been heard, your desires have been noted, and understanding that there may in fact be something much better, much greater, that you may not have the potential to understand right now. And so it's understanding that there is a level of trust that we sit in as everything unfolds, right? And not to allow our strategizing or our desires to override the very best of the one who knows all, right? It's that kind of energy. And it is feminine energy with this card, the Chess Queen. It's understanding and knowing that, hey, however this turns out, I know that my very best interest is going to be at the center of this when it's all said and done. And so let's get some tarot. And I get the overall feeling, you know, we're all on this journey. And, you know, when we become aware that we all are on a journey and we all have our own specific paths, and it becomes, there is a challenge that comes up when we become aware of that. And it's a balance that happens. Because first of all, it's understanding that there is something that was predestined for each of us that is absolutely outside of our control. It was before we even entered into the physical realm, right? There was a pre-noted destination. And even though when we come into the physical realm, when we're birthed, we're not aware of that. But when we become aware of it, then that's the first step, right? That's the first challenge, is becoming aware. And then when you become aware that there is a purpose on your life, now it's moving in a way where you can allow that purpose to come full-fledged, full forward, right? And then there's so many challenges around that, you know, as we were just talking about, being in this energy where we're aware that we're co-creating, and there's a level that where we're able to be involved with that co-creation, but then there's also a level of surrender that happens. There's a level of intention that plays into that, and you know, there's just so many different parts of it. And so that's the energy that I'm getting for someone that has become aware. And now that they're aware, it is, okay, let's cooperate and do this so that we can hit the mark, right? So let's go ahead and get some tarot here. I am using my regular original Rider-Waite deck. So all right. The overall energy is the Ten of Cups. It's the Ten of Cups. And so for whoever this is, there's a level of complete enjoyment, complete satisfaction that's on the table for you right now. And I feel like it doesn't have a lot to do with stuff. You know, a lot of people would, when you say, oh, okay, so if I was to have the perfect life, what would that look like? You know, and a lot of us, right, would say, okay, well, I would have $10 trillion first off, and I would have 10 houses on a hill, and 50 different cars to choose from, and lots of closets full of clothes and shoes and wallets and purses. You know, it's really pitted that happiness for a lot of us before we become conscious of this calling. Many times is rooted and pitted around material things. It's rooted and pitted around material things. But when we become conscious, then we become awakened to the fact that things can never give us the contentment in life that we were created for. When we talk about the 10 of Cups, we're talking about a satisfaction and a contentment that comes from within. It comes from the ability to be surrounded by people who love you and who you love. It comes from being able to engage in things that matter to you and things that actually pour a sense of satisfaction and excitement and passion for life. This is the reason to live, you know. Even if I don't have a dollar to my name, I can feel a sense of enjoyment and satisfaction in life by just existing, right? By just being connected with things and with people who fill me with the energy that makes me feel like I do have $1 million, even though it's not the million, right? But it's a spiritual, an emotional, a mental, a physical, right? It's that kind of fulfillment. And so for whoever this is the overall energy coming out for you right now. That is what has been destined for you. Whoever this is for, it's the 10 of Cups. That's the overall energy we're talking about here. And we have the Temperance and the Moon. Again, this could be fire energy. This could be water energy, right? That very dreamlike energy we were talking about. Making sure that you don't fall into elusiveness, but being very cognizant. And patience too. Patience while things are being transformed for you, around you, right? In regards to this 10 of Cups, whoever this is, you could definitely have dreamt of what this is. You could have had visions of what this is. For some of you, you could have even had angels come to you and talk to you about this. Right? But for whoever this is, this 10 of Cups is talking about this level of enjoyment that is predestined for you. You were created for this purpose, the 10 of Cups, okay? And that's pretty awesome. So I know you probably hear the people around us, but there's nothing I can do about that. It's kids being kids. And so one of the challenges that's coming in is the Queen of Cups, right? And the Queen of Cups talks about the energy of having to know everything. Having to know everything. When, where, how, who, what, why, right? The Queen of Cups is very informed, very strategic, right? But as we learned here with the Chess Queen, that was one of the things that we were kind of being warned about, is strategizing, right? And so the block to this 10 of Cups coming in is having to feel like you have to be in control or you have to know everything, right? Spirit is saying this is where the trust comes in. This is where the trust comes in. Understand what you've been destined, and for whoever I'm talking to, You know, because you've seen it, whether it's in dreams, whether it's in visions, whether you had someone to come along and speak that to you in your life. For who I'm talking to, you already know what's waiting for you before it's said and done. But there's a level of trust now that you have to learn to embrace and settle yourself in, right? The journeys that we're on is not about the destination as much as it is about the journey, right? Most of the memories that's going to mean the world to you are the things that have happened on the way to this destination, okay? And so this is where trust comes in and releasing control. So for who I'm speaking to, you could be someone who likes to control things. You know, you like to be in control. You like to know what's happening, when it's happening, how it's happening, where it's going to go down, right? But this is not that. Because you're co-creating. And it's the connection, right? That's the highest importance with what's happening. It's not what you want, but there's a level of understanding of what it is that would ultimately fulfill you, right? We only know ourselves in part. Let me just say that. As much as you feel like, oh, I know what I would do and what I'd never do. That's why they say never say never, because you don't know what you would never do. You don't know until you've been put in that position. You don't know. And growing up and maturing, I said that many times, and guess what? I had to eat those words, because the very things that I said that I would never do, I ended up doing. And the very things that I judged other people for doing, that I was saying that I would never do, I was placed in that position to have to decide, to understand what the mind of that person was, right? And the decisions that they made and why they made that decision. So never say never, because you never know. And understand that things are being organized on your behalf, sometimes in a way that you don't even realize, right? That's why it's important to release the outcome, because our Creator knows more about us than we know about ourselves. And in knowing that, they know what's absolutely good for us. We may think we want something, when that would probably be the most absolute worst thing that we could ever do or receive. It would destroy us. You think you want $1 trillion, but is that actually going to be beneficial for your soul? Is that going to be beneficial for the things that you have been given? I feel like they're competing with me talking, so I apologize for the noise. But is that actually going to be beneficial if you got what it is what you desired? Or would that actually destroy your soul? Would it destroy your morality? Would it destroy your commitment to the collective good? Not just you, but even everybody that's connected with you, right? And so many times we think we want something and we think it would be good, but understand that there is a greater level of wisdom above our knowledge, above our wisdom, that actually knows. And so you don't have to know it all. Even though the Queen of Swords likes to know it all, you don't have to. You absolutely do not. Let's see. And I completely understand that, because, and then depending on how you were raised too, you know, that may be like a security, I'm hearing. It may be like a security thing for you. And this may help you to feel more at ease and relaxed. You know, you could have an anxious type of style because of things that have happened, you know, in your upbringing. And that's okay. Because again, our Creator knows us better than we know ourselves. There's nothing that's happened that was a mistake. And so understanding that and being able to relax into that is the best thing. All right. And so for who I'm talking to, money could definitely be a level of concern, or it could play a very important part in what it is that you are overall concerned about right now. And it doesn't have to be money. For some it could be, but the Ten of Pentacles also represents stability. And when we say money, we mean money that would, because, you know, money, when we talk about stability and physical things, that's why they say that the money makes the world go round, because without it, you know, many things would be a challenge. But money allows us to feel stable because, of course, we need to eat, right? We need a roof over our heads. We need to be able to go and get care when we need it. We need to be able to get from A to B, right? We need gas. We need cars, you know, and so money is very much a part of our ability to bring a level of stability in for ourselves and our families. And so this could be something that's very much on your mind right now. And it doesn't have to be money per se. It could be other things in the material realm, right? It could be cars. It could be a place to live. It could be clothing. You know, it could be some type of necessity that you are thinking about right now. And I have the World, and the Ten of Wands. And so in regards to what you're thinking, Spirit is letting you know that you're going to be taken care of. The World talks about completion. The Ten of Wands talks about lots of different things to be filled, right? But I feel like Spirit is saying you're going to be taken care of. So that thing that you're thinking about that's weighing heavy on your mind, or have weighed heavy on your mind, I feel like it's definitely going to be ironed out if it has not already been. And so don't worry about it. Spend that energy, instead of worrying about that, spend that energy on something else, because that's already been checked off of your bucket list, okay? That's beautiful. I love it. You have been part of your destiny, because that's what we're talking about, is to be taken care of, basically. And so I feel like everything is definitely purposeful. So there could have been seasons in your life where things were hard, where you were in lack, or maybe that was your mindset. But through those seasons, there were lessons being learned. And so that when you were brought into your place of destiny, which is being taken care of in every way, because so far we've got the Ten of Cups, which means emotional, spiritual fulfillment. And now we have the Ten of Pentacles, which talks about fulfillment for the physical. And so you're taken care of in both aspects of the in both aspects of your being, okay? Which is beautiful. Destiny, okay? And then the Ace of Swords is coming towards you. This is the energy coming towards you. So the Ace of Swords is enlightenment. There's some type of special knowledge or enlightenment that is heading towards you right now. That's the energy coming towards you. And I feel like this energy, though, is about you. Like it's still a lot to be learned. There's still a lot that you don't know. Yeah, that is actually taking place, right? There's a level of transformation that's happening for you. And I feel like this is just the beginning. Spirit is saying this is just the beginning. Like, buckle your seatbelt, baby. We about to go on a ride, and it's going to be a good ride. So there's a lot that's yet to be revealed, that's being revealed, that's coming towards you in the future, that's going to show you even more. Yeah, this is enlightenment, truth, revelation. Wow, this is beautiful. Spirit is saying, buckle your seatbelt, baby. We about to go on a ride. And you're hearing this all the time. For whoever I'm talking to, the Page of Wands brings in messages, right? You're hearing this. So whether it's direct communication with your source, or whether it could be angels. I got the energy of angels that keeps coming out as well. This could be receiving messages from other people. If you're listening to this right now, this is me telling you again. And these are all in coordination for bringing in this truth, this enlightenment that's coming towards you. And so Spirit is saying, if you are receiving messages, don't doubt them, right? Trust what it is that you are hearing. Let's see. And when you hear messages, like, you can feel whether or not those messages align with you, right? And so definitely use your discernment, but don't feel like, oh, that's too good to be for me, right? No, it is for you. And it's not too good, right? It is for you. It's purpose for you. It's your destiny. Not only is it your destiny, it's your reward for getting to this place in your life. And there's going to be things that are actually going to be a surprise as well. It's going to be a surprise. For a select group, I feel like you also, in turn, are speaking revelation to people as well. Or you're speaking some kind of truth, or have spoken some kind of truth. This could be out of your experience or your life. You could be being watched, or someone is talking about you. There's a lot going on here. But this is the element of this change just happening all around you. But mostly what I'm hearing is, don't feel like what you're hearing is too good to be true, because it is most definitely for you, baby. It's for you. There's the need to get out into nature more. somebody needs to get out where things are green. Somebody needs to get out into a space where there's just nothing but greenery. There's going to be like an energetic exchange with all of the plants, just by being in the midst of nature. So there could have been in the past, there was like something that was difficult. I get the energy with this Page of Pentacles. There was something that, or there could have been things that you were trying to do or trying to start. But it may not have been, I'm hearing Spirit say that it wasn't quite the right time, or the time was right for how it happened to happen. Like there was nothing out of place is what I'm getting. So however things turned out in the past when you were trying to start something, however that turned out, it was supposed to turn out like that. And it was meant for you to, it was like a learning lesson to help you realize how you think and to change that. And what I'm getting is, you know, sometimes, I don't know why Spirit is bringing up like the Olympics, but before the actual event, there is like pre-trials to the main event. And so whatever that was like a pre-trial. And whether or not you won that relay race or not on the pre-trials is irrelevant, because the real event is yet to come. Or the real event, whatever those pre-trials was, whatever the experience was, it was to prepare you for the actual real event is what I'm hearing. And so whatever that was that you were trying to start in the past that may not have turned out the way that you wanted, understand that actual experience was purposeful. And I feel like it has a lot to do with changing how you think is what I'm feeling. Because one of the clarifying cards was the Five of Pentacles. And that talks about mindset, lack mindset. And so there was a need to experience that to prepare you for where it is that you're going. Okay? So there was an experience that you had in the past that was very purposeful. You were trying to start something, or you were studying something new, something like that. And Spirit wants you to know that that experience was not about whether or not you failed or succeeded. It was more about the lesson learned in that experience. Now, currently, I feel like you're in very balanced energy with the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is very stable energy, very balanced, very aware and strategic. It's really considered balanced because it's really slow, observative, moving energy, right? Not quick to jump into anything per se, but it's really just taking care of yourself, taking care of the things that's under your control and under your command, and just being very aware, right? And responsible too. And so the current energy I feel like you're in is you definitely are probably very attentive to what it is that you have to do, probably very aware of yourself, very tuned into yourself right now. Let me see. And I feel like if there's anything like that's inviting you, you're not really quick to jump into it. If you are getting any kind of, it looks like you probably are getting offers coming towards you, but you're not really quick to jump into anything. You're very observative, just very aware of what's going on around you. And very attuned to yourself mentally and emotionally. Very emotionally balanced as well. And so I feel like you are definitely open to offers if they're coming through. That could be romantic. That could also be business-wise, because it is the Queen of Pentacles. But it could also be personal offers, you know, coming towards you as well. Whatever it is, you're not really quick to jump towards it. The Queen of Pentacles is really strategical and just kind of pulled backish. And when I say strategic, it's the good kind of strategic, right? It's having a plan, you know, and not really being quick to be pulled into other people's plans because you're balanced and stabilized in your own. And so the energy that I see for you right now is very much stable energy. And so you're in a good headspace. I feel like you're in a good headspace right now. And if there is something that you are waiting for to come in, you're being very patient about it. You're being very patient about it, not really rushing it. You're making good use of what you have while you're waiting on whatever this is that you could be waiting on to come in. It's being a really good steward of what you have right now. Let's see. I want to take a look at your current environment. Like, what is the energy of your current environment right now? Very supportive. That's what I was feeling. The Three of Cups talks about being surrounded by people who are supportive, people who understand you, people who are not self-absorbed, but they celebrate and participate in not only the struggles, but also the successes, you know. And so it's very connected energy. So whoever it is that you have around you, I feel like is definitely supportive. Let's see. In the environment, we have the Three of Cups. For some of you, this could be a new environment for you. For some of you, you could have left an old place of comfort to replace it with someplace new, or replace wherever it is that you are. You replaced those people in that environment that you moved from for a new group of people. And if that hasn't happened yet, it's going to happen. It's coming in. But I feel like the environment that you're in is very conducive for this type of connection. A very supportive connection, a connection where not only is there support, but there's also modeling is what I'm hearing. There's modeling of like appropriate behavior, whatever that means. So if you're someone who actually has a standard for those that you surround yourself with, or a standard for those that get to come in and participate, right? There's like some type of environment that you're cultivating, or you're possibly putting together, moving towards, creating. You could be moving towards this type of environment, but it's very supportive and it's very positive, very structured. And I feel like that structure is in support of anyone that might need it, right? In the hopes and fears, you could be concerned about something from the past, or very hopeful for something from the past. Either you're wanting to stir something up from the past, or you're quick to move away from it. Take that how it resonates for you. For some of you, you could be trying to cultivate something from the past, right? And very much, and I almost get the energy possibly of tradition, I'm hearing. Cultivating or bringing something in from the past so that it's not lost, and implementing it in current routines or practices. For others of you, this could be you feeling the weight of the past and quickly trying to move away from it. And so that could be either in your hopes or your fears. It has something to do with the past and moving either towards the past or from the past. Take that how that resonates. Whatever it is, it's very important, right? And it has a huge, whatever this is, it has a huge impact on where you are right now, or where you're going. It has an impact. You know, depending on how that resonates for you, for some, I feel like Spirit is saying, don't forget where you come from, right? How important it is to not only remember where you've come from, but carry that forward and pass it down so it's not forgotten, right? So that it remains a part of whatever it is that you're carrying forward, that you've been given to carry forward. For those of you that resonates with having to bring something from the past into your present situation or where you're going, right? I feel like it's important that something is not lost there, whatever that could be. You may have the burden of not allowing whatever that is to dwindle away, but having to implement that some type of way. Like it's a must, it's necessary. And then on the flip side, it's understanding whatever that is, right? From the past, if this is something that you're trying to quickly move away from or do away with, it cannot come. And you're being guided away from it as quickly as possible as you move forward. Not that it didn't happen, but it played its role. It could be a person, it could be a thing. I feel like it's more of a principle or something that you would hand down. But on the dark side of that, if you're trying to move away from something, it's understanding that it cannot come forward. It cannot, right? And so moving away from it as quickly as possible, just to rid yourself of any trace of it, right? That's the energy I'm getting. So that could go both ways, depending on how it's resonating for you personally, right? It's a general read, so it could resonate with people, with everybody a little bit differently. Apply it to your situation if that is resonating. And the outcome of the situation for you, I have the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands, going right back to the very beginning, talking about this new, there's something new being birthed, I feel like, through you, right? And we started with the Ten of Cups, talking about this level of fulfillment in our overall experience of life. That's what you were called to experience. A level of fulfillment, a level of enjoyment, a level of contentment. And when it's all said and done, the outcome says that you will, most definitely, with the Ace of Wands. And you could be being handed opportunities to step into that as we speak. And I feel like, again, there's the energy of not being constricted, right? Not thinking that this is too good for you, because it's not. And yes, when you hear messages that resonate with you, don't shut them out, but receive them. Even if they seem too good to be true or too big for your imagination, right? Open up and allow. And practice telling yourself, I can have that. Yes, I can. Or that is for me, right? Practice turning that thought around and being open to just receiving it. Because remember, you're co-creating, but the biggest part of that co-creation lies with a source. It lies with the creator. Who has no holds barred, is what I'm hearing. There's no ceiling for the creator. And so for whoever this is resonating with, that's what I'm hearing. Spirit is helping you break the ceiling, right? There could be restrictions perceived in this life for some people. For you, I feel like you are going to break the ceiling for something. And you are going to shed a light on this possibility, even for others that would witness this for you or with you, right? Anything else, Spirit? And I'm going to go ahead and end this. The High Priestess, you know who you are. Period. You know who you are. You know what you're worthy of, right? Experiences sometimes come in to challenge our belief, but remember who you are and what you're worthy of is what I hear Spirit saying. And so I don't know who needed to hear this today, but this is for you. This is for you. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and end it there. If you like this reading, it resonated, go ahead and like, share, comment. If you would like a personal reading, feel free to inbox me or click on my link in my description box. There are ways that you can contact me and schedule a personal one-on-one reading, right? I appreciate you for stopping by, sharing your energy with us. Until next time, my name is LettiSpeaks, and you take care of yourself. Stay dry out there as well. Bye.